fluent history. I'm going to teach you Bhakti and Sufi traditions. Bhakti tradition started developed in South India from 7th to 12th century. There were Alwars and Nayanar saints. Alwars were the worshippers of Vishnu and Nayanars were the worshippers of Shiva. These sect emerged very fast and they preached in local languages. They preached in local language and they were against caste system, against the rituals, and very fast they captured the masses. Masses became followed them. Now, what were the basic tenets of Bhakti movement? Oneness of God. God is one. There are different paths, but different paths leads to one. There is one supernatural power, and God is supreme. Importance of God. God is very important, and one should surrender. One should devote. Total devotion to God will lead to freedom from this cycle of birth and death. And the importance of God is very important. Devotion, total complete surrender to God. True devotion means sincerely one should do right karma and be sincere to God. If you are sincere, then Ravidas said, "Man changa to kathauti mein ganta." Means one should devote himself or herself to the God. This belief in caste system, they did not believe in caste system. Caste is and there was the hierarchy in which the caste system was arranged in a ladder-like position. The highest position to Brahma and lowest position to untouchable. The Bhakti saints rejected the caste system. They believed in equality and all lower caste were given the preachings. They were included in Bhakti movement. All irrespective of caste and sect. Greatness of Guru. And great Guru is the medium through which we go to God. The greatness of Guru was emphasized. Rahim said, Guru Govind Guru khade kaake lago pao, balihari Guru aapne Govind Guru batao. Means Guru is greater than God. And I will touch the feet of Guru because he is the man who will, because of him, we will get the God, get near to the God. Against idol worship. The Bhakti saints, the Alwars and Nayanar, they were against idol worship. And they did not, they were totally denied the idol worship. No belief in rituals. They did not believe in rituals, unnecessary rituals, and sacrifices, and killing of animals. And the rituals were very costly. And the Brahmanas, governments of time, they used to charge very high amount for the ritual performance. They were unnecessary. Against superstitions. Against superstitions. They were also against superstitions. Superstitions. अंधविश्वास की बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई तो so they were against superstition, unnecessary rituals. Now famous saints of Bhakti movement were Ramanuj. He was born in South India and in fact he started Bhakti movement and he condemned the caste system, unnecessary rituals, and he emphasized on the oneness of God, true devotion of God, greatness of Guru. He was against all these things. And the next was Ramananda. He was born in Prayag but settled in Varanasi. he made a lot of, he made disciples from lower caste, like Kabir, Namdev. Kabir was a weaver. Kabir, then Ravidas, a cobbler, Sena, a barber. So he made disciples from lower caste, and he stopped the distinction of caste and creed and gave his preaching to all, irrespective of high or low. Then Kabir was one thing. There are bhakti saints were divided into Saguna, those who believed in the idol worship, and Nirguna, those who did not believe in that. Nirguna, those who believe that God has no form. So Kabir and Nanak, Namdev, Ravidas, they were Saguna saints. Ramanand, Chaitanya, they were Aris. Kabir and Guru Nanak, Namdev and Ravidas were Nirguna saints. They did not believe that God has form. Now Kabir was born in Varanasi at Lahartara, and he was a weaver. He became the disciple of Ramanand and gave his preaching. He also condemned all the oneness of God. He believed in oneness of God, condemned the caste system. He said that the total devotion to God. And greatness of Guru also, he also emphasized. It was again idol worship and all these. Then Nanak, he was also Nirguna saint, and he preached the unity of all mankind, service to man and humanity, service to God. He was against caste system and no belief in rituals, greatness of Guru, against idol worship, against superstition, all these. Namdev, similar thing. Namdev was also, he was a saint of Maharashtra. He did not believe in caste system. He tried to condemn the rigidity of caste, high or low, all are equal, all are the creation of God, the greatness of Guru. He was against idol worship. True devotion can reach you to the God. Now, next was Ravidas. He was a cobbler from Varanasi. He was a disciple of Ramanand. He also condemned the caste system, high and low, all are equal, greatness of Guru, against idol worship, and true devotion. And he said, Man changa to kathoti mein changa. Chaitanya, he was a second saint. He was from Bengal. He was total devotee of Krishna. And he used to chant and sing and spread the bhakti movement in. He was responsible for spreading the message of Krishna in Bengal and other parts of the country. He used to perform the Hari Kirtan. So, these were the things. Now, objective. What was the objective? To remove the evils, save Hinduism from conservative conversion, to remove mutual conflicts, Hindus and Muslims. What happened? Objective of Bhakti movement was that with the advent of Islam in India, the lower caste started converting to Muslim. So, in order to protect, in order to stop conversion, the reform movement started. A short of it was Bhakti movement was a sort of reform movement to remove the evils, remove the caste rigidity, and belief in God, belief in Guru, against superstition. So, these were the partition castes they were converting and giving them importance. Partition castes they became very prosperous. And because of a lot of construction work and a lot of articles, trade and commerce flourished, the goods were produced and that were exported, and there was huge demand of these goods. So, artisan caste they wanted a due respectable place in society. So, they were attracted toward these bhakti saints who preached equality, greatness of Guru, against rituals, against superstition. And what happened, out of Brahmanical structure, because of the dominance of the Varna, so many sects came out. Naths, Yogis and Sikhs. Nath Sampradaya, whose headquarters is in Gorakhpur district, he attracted lower caste, artisan caste, and they preached equality of all sects. And Yogis and Sikhs, those who wandered, roamed from place to place and preached the gospel of Gorakhnath Ji and devotion of God, importance of God. The most important thing was decline of dominance of Brahmins. The Brahmins who occupied very dominant position, they became very, they considered themselves the purest of all, and they made a lot of distinction with other castes. So this was a fact. Their position started decline after the Bhakti movement. Position which they earlier had, there was gradual importance, decline in the importance. A rise of regional languages. These Bhakti saints, they gave their teachings in regional languages. That is, the regional script. Their books were written in regional script and teachings in regional language, so that the common people could understand the preachings. And as a result, the rise of Awadhi, Braj, Bhojpuri, then Kannada, Telugu, all these regional scripts became developed and became very prominent. Now, I will give special two Nirguna saints, two Bhakti saints who were Nirgun. I have said that the Bhakti saints were divided into Sagun and Nirgun. Sagun, those who believe that God has form. Nirgun, they believe that God has no form. So, two Nirguna Bhakti saints were Kabir and Nanak. Now, I will give emphasis on Kabir. He described the ultimate reality. He described the ultimate reality as Allah, Khuda, Hazrat, and Peer. He also used terms like Alat, the unseen, and Nirakar, the formless. These words were drawn from Vedantic tradition. He repudiated idol worship and polytheism. He emphasized the Sufi concept of Jikr and Ishq, love, to express the Hindu practices of Namsaran, remembrance of God's name. He believed that God was one, though his names are different. He referred to God as formless. He stated that salvation can be attained through bhakti. He opted the religious rituals of both Hindus and Muslims. He was against discrimination of caste. The lower caste who were discriminated, he was against that. Expression of views. Kabir expressed his views in the language that was spoken and understood by the common people. After his death, the followers spread his views through various means of communication. From there, it is quite clear that Kabir was a source of inspiration for those who questioned and traced social institutions' idea in their search for divine. Kabir was born, I have said, in Varanasi, and he was against the tradition. It is said, there is a lot of rumor that he was born of a widow, Brahmin widow, and who left him near the pond at Lahatara. He was groomed by a Julaha, taken by a Julaha, Nehru, and who groomed him, and he preached his sermon in simple language. Now, next is Nanak. Nanak was born at Talwandi in Pakistan. It is called Nankana Sahib in 1469. At Nankana Sahib, near the river Ravi, This place is now in Pakistan. He was born in Hindu family and learned Persian, Arabic, Hindi and mathematics. He was married at a very young age. However, he remained aloof from this mundane world and traveled widely, spent most of his time in the company of Sufi saint and Bhagat. His main teachings are as follows. He advocated Nirguna Bhakti. He firmly rejected the religious practices like sacrifice, rituals, bath, idol worship, and austerities. He rejected the scriptures of both Hindu and Muslim. He stated that the Almighty had no gender or form. He proposed that all his followers should connect to the divine by remembering and repeating the divine name. In fact, Guru Nanak Dev Ji expressed his ideas through hymns called Sabats. He expressed all his views in Punjabi, the language of the region. He recited the Sabats in various ragas. He started a new religion, Sikh religion. His followers began to be called Sikh, the one who is a learner. That's all.